And a good evening, everyone. Sean Henderson Pierre back with you, reviewing Schlitz High Gravity V.S.L. Very smooth lager. Um, got this on my trip when I went home to New Jersey. I said I would want to do a review of it, and I've already done one with the OML, the original malt. So I'll do this. 8.5% ABV, of course, Schlitz malt liquor. Of course, the company Joseph Schlitz Brewing was bought out by the wonderful folks at Pabst. Of course, Schlitz, as you all know, the famous the beer with the gusto. And then they put out and then you have Schlitz Light, which is discontinued. But now you have the other beers. Then you have the malt liquors, which have been praised a little bit over the years, gotten some medals, some awards. The four, of course, the OML. You have this, the V.S.L, the very smooth lager. You also have the Red Bull, and you also have the Schlitz malt liquor Bull Ice, which is an ice malt liquor. So, uh, back to this beer. 66 is a poor score on Beer Advocate. They don't like us. The brothers didn't give it much of a score. Rate beer, we'll leave that alone. Um, Smell, typical malt liquor smell, very sweet, some little vegetable-y kind of scent to it. 8.5%. It's not much lacing as you could look at here in my glass here. A little bit of lace, but not much. Now the taste. Mm. Very, very sweet. Very sweet. Mm. I mean, good thing it's gonna be my last beer for the night because I'm tired and I think I'm gonna polish this off and go straight to bed. Wow. I was expecting more from this, but I wasn't expecting it to be that. I mean, it's okay. I mean, obviously it's ice cold, which is I recommend anyone you're gonna drink malt liquors, particularly one of the high gravities, ice cold. Do not drink them at room temperature whatsoever. You will be fucked. I had some Chinese food about 30 minutes ago, and I guess this would go great with this. Some spicy Chinese food or some ribs or things like that. Hot wings. Man, this is really 8.5% too, and that's another thing. This is really high. Um, a lot of carbonation. Hmm. You can taste a little some fruitiness to it, but I was really expecting it to be a little more. Obviously, malt liquors are different. I mean, they're the same, but different companies make their different styles. But the high gravities, I should say, and I've had Old English, I've had King Cobra, including King Cobra, and even Old English, and to a degree, Mickey's are about the same. They're more. I kind of don't look at them as being so overpowering, but if you look at the ABVs or this, but in terms of the high gravities, I've had the OE high gravity, and I've had Hurricane high gravity, and of course I've had Steel and Ice House Edge, and I must say, I mean, to hate to be honest, but the Hurricane I think is a lot better in terms of high gravity of those that I mentioned. Um, this was my first time. I was really kind of because I've seen a lot of videos of this beer and people praise it and like it, and and me, I'm just like, I don't know. It's just kind of really harsh to my stomach right now. Really, very harsh. See if I can get some out of my damn beer. That's some ice. Oh, we got there. Mm. I don't know what to say, guys. I thought it would be better, but man, this is not really pleased with this one. I mean, I'm gonna give it an honest score here, and if it's just for the sweetness, it really is overpowering on this here on this V.S.L. I mean, nothing. I mean, it's good, but it's just a little too sweet, and you know, I'm gonna save this can and take some pictures of it tomorrow. Put in my car and save this. Take some pictures, but the history of malt liquors. I'm not going to go on and on about it. You know what they are: very high gravity, beer with a little more strength, a little more oomph. At that time, beers that were pretty much around between 3 and 5% ABV during its early days, and now you have at that time people wanted beer with a little more oomph, a little more kick, and more power, um, and you've noticed over the years the beers have grown. And Country Club was one of the first. Schlitz was the first with the OML Country Club. We also mentioned then if we go into the 70s, you have Colt 45, now pretty much a legacy, legendary beer. You have and who they were marketing towards at that time with the malt liquors back then in the 50s. They were marketing towards the country club guy, playing golf, the well-to-do upper class. Then they changed their marketing to middle class. And then upper class, middle class, and then we get to the 70s and 80s is middle class and lower class. Um, the working poor. Let's put it that way. Um, who drink this beer, who dismiss it, and the advertisings and things like that. With the commercials and things, and um, promoting extra strength, extra power, and you know, while some of them are good, others are just trash. And I'm not saying Schlitz. I mean, everything that Pabst now that it's Schlitz is under the ownership of Pabst, Blue Ribbon. I think they know what they're doing in terms of and how they make and produce their beer. This is in quality, but Ice House Edge, which is owned by Miller, of course Hurricane. King Cobra doesn't have a high gravity. Of course, those are the two beers that are owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev, and then you have Coors doesn't have any malt liquors. Ice House Edge and Old English High Gravity. Of course, a regular Old English, which is 6%. That's pretty decent. Very strong lager. I don't know. This to me is not really doing what I thought it would do. I thought, it's good, but not good. So I say scale 1 to 10. I'm giving this about in S. I'm about halfway. I'm in the middle. About say a strong 8. Um, Shows the high gravity, the style. I'd probably pick Hurricane over this. OE High Gravity, probably a close second, very close second to what I would pick, and then Ice House Edge, and the rest is just a crapshoot. But like I said, I've been wanting to try this beer for some time. Again, I've seen all the reviews, and I said, hey, what the hell, let's see what happens. And, so again, it's a good nightcap beer. I'm going to go to sleep very well. Believe me, I will. So, leave your comments and your thoughts on the bottom. Tell me what you think about this. You know, very interesting beer to have. very interesting. But I love the cans. Of course, everything about malt liquors you see in their cans, not just Schlitz, but any malt liquor you see, it's in bold lettering, silver. Everything's italicized, bold. Can of the bull, power. You know, just like I mean anything. I mean Ice House Edge. You see their lettering on their beers as well, showing power and strength. And same with Schlitz Malt Liquor, OE. Um, um, who else? Ice House Edge. Hurricane, power, strength. So anyhow, leave your comments again on the bottom. Tell me what you think, and we'll just go from there. So this is a solid 8. Not great, but a solid 8. You know, very rough, rough brand. Just ain't doing it for me. So oh well. But anyhow, John Anderson Pierre, the Beer and TV Ramble. So you keep watching and cheers.